History had barely caught its breath before another astonishing chapter exploded across the tennis world. And this time, the shock did not begin with a thunderous forehand or a breathtaking championship point. It began with silence. A silence that lasted just long enough for speculation to spread across every corner of the sport, leaving fans desperate for answers about the remarkable rise of Alex Eala. Then, without warning, that silence ended. Mark Ine finally spoke, and what he revealed instantly transformed the conversation surrounding one of the brightest young stars in professional tennis. For weeks, supporters had searched every interview, every public appearance, every social media post, hoping to uncover clues about what the future might hold. Rumors multiplied with incredible speed. Some believed opportunities were quietly disappearing behind closed doors. Others insisted massive plans were already taking shape, hidden from public view until the perfect moment. Every passing day fueled even greater uncertainty. Then came the moment nobody expected. Mark Ine stepped forward with calm confidence, choosing his words carefully. Yet every sentence seemed to carry enormous weight. The businessman whose influence has stretched across professional tennis for years was no longer watching from the sideline. His latest comments immediately ignited headlines because they suggested something far bigger than a simple endorsement. They hinted that Alex Eala had reached a turning point capable of reshaping not only her own career, but the future landscape of women's tennis itself. The reaction was immediate. Commentators who had spent months debating Eala's ceiling suddenly found themselves reassessing everything they thought they knew. Former champions leaned forward with renewed curiosity. Analysts replayed her recent performances with fresh eyes, searching for the hidden clues that suddenly seemed impossible to ignore. Because what Mark Ine described was not merely a talented teenager enjoying a breakthrough. He described a competitor whose greatest victories might still be waiting beyond the horizon. That possibility alone sent a wave of excitement through the tennis community. Alex Eala's journey has never followed the comfortable script expected of rising stars. Long before international headlines celebrated her victories, she carried the hopes of an entire nation determined to see one of its own challenge. The traditional powerhouses of professional tennis. Every tournament represented another opportunity to prove that extraordinary talent can emerge from places the sport has too often overlooked. Nothing arrived easily. Every ranking point demanded relentless sacrifice. Every victory required overcoming opponents who possessed greater experience, stronger reputations, and larger support systems. Yet she kept moving. Again and again, she refused to accept that history had already been written. Each match became another declaration that belief can sometimes become more powerful than expectation. Fans watched her fearless shot making evolve with remarkable speed. Her movement across the baseline became sharper. Her anticipation improved. Her confidence under pressure continued growing, until even established veterans realized they could no longer expect easy afternoons whenever they found her waiting across the net. The transformation did not happen overnight. It was built through countless unseen hours, endless training sessions, painful defeats, quiet moments of doubt, and an unwavering commitment to becoming better every single day. That relentless pursuit of improvement eventually captured the attention of influential figures throughout the sport. Few understand the broader picture of professional tennis quite like Mark Ine. Years of involvement have allowed him to observe countless promising careers. He has seen remarkable talents rise toward greatness. He has also witnessed gifted athletes disappear beneath overwhelming expectations before ever reaching their true potential. That experience gives unusual significance to every observation he chooses to share publicly. When someone with that perspective speaks positively about a young player, people listen. When someone like Mark Ine suggests that extraordinary possibilities may lie ahead, the tennis world pays very close attention. His latest update appeared measured rather than dramatic. Yet beneath the calm delivery was unmistakable optimism. He emphasized qualities that statistics alone cannot fully capture: composure, professionalism, maturity, the willingness to embrace difficult challenges rather than avoid them. Those characteristics often separate outstanding prospects from future champions. Physical talent opens doors. Mental strength determines who continues walking through them. Alex Eala appears increasingly determined to prove she possesses both. That realization changed the tone of the conversation almost instantly. Suddenly, the discussion shifted away from whether she belonged among elite competition. Instead, people began asking how quickly she could climb even higher. The difference between those two conversations is enormous. One questions possibility. The other assumes success and focuses only upon timing. That subtle change reflects the remarkable respect Eala has earned through persistence rather than publicity. She has never relied upon loud declarations. Her tennis has spoken louder than any headline ever could. Every fearless return, Every impossible passing shot, every composed service game under unbearable pressure has gradually constructed a reputation impossible to ignore. Perhaps that explains why Markine's words resonated so deeply. They did not appear disconnected from reality. Instead, they sounded like confirmation of what careful observers had already begun to suspect. Something special is developing. Not simply another promising season. Not merely another talented young player enjoying temporary momentum. Something with genuine long-term significance. Around the world, tennis fans immediately began imagining what that future might resemble. Could Alex Eala become the first player from her nation to consistently challenge for the sport's biggest trophies? Could she inspire an entirely new generation of young athletes to believe that impossible dreams deserve relentless pursuit? Could this remarkable journey become one of the defining stories of modern tennis? Those questions suddenly felt far more realistic than they had only weeks earlier. The excitement spread rapidly because people love witnessing history before everyone else recognizes it. They want to remember the exact moment everything changed. Many now believe Markine's public update may eventually be remembered as one of those defining moments. Not because it guaranteed future success. Nothing in professional sport offers guarantees. Champions are still forged through extraordinary effort, resilience, sacrifice, and relentless improvement. But belief from respected voices can provide something equally valuable. Validation. Confirmation that years of sacrifice have begun attracting the attention of those who truly understand greatness. Alex Eala still faces enormous challenges ahead. Every tournament will present stronger opposition. Every victory will increase expectations. Every defeat will attract louder criticism. Such is the reality awaiting every emerging star. Yet perhaps the most impressive quality she continues displaying is her refusal to become distracted by outside noise. She keeps working. She keeps learning. She keeps believing. That mindset may ultimately become her greatest competitive advantage. Because while headlines come and go, true champions build lasting careers through consistency rather than emotion. If Markine's latest remarks reveal anything, it is that influential figures inside tennis increasingly recognize that rare combination within Alex Eala. The world may still see a rising prospect. Those closest to the sport may already see something far greater. The remarkable thing about breakthrough moments in professional tennis is that they rarely announce themselves with absolute certainty. Instead, they arrive disguised as isolated victories, unexpected performances, or quiet endorsements from respected voices who recognize greatness before the rest of the world catches up. That is precisely why Markine's latest comments continue to echo far beyond a single interview. They have encouraged countless people inside the sport to look beyond today's rankings and imagine what Alex Eala might become over the coming years. That future suddenly feels much closer than many expected. There was a time when simply appearing in the later rounds of prestigious tournaments represented a significant achievement. Every hard-fought victory was celebrated as another encouraging milestone. Every competitive performance against an established star reinforced the belief that bigger accomplishments remained possible. Now the expectations have shifted. Supporters are no longer satisfied with respectable performances. They want championships. They want unforgettable upsets. They want to witness history unfolding before their eyes. That evolution says everything about how dramatically perceptions have changed. Alex Eala earned that respect through fearless tennis. She never built her reputation through extravagant promises or carefully crafted headlines. Instead, she repeatedly stepped onto the court against opponents who possessed greater experience and refused to play with hesitation. While others might have settled for survival, she searched for opportunities to attack. Every aggressive return, every perfectly timed passing shot, every courageous approach toward the net revealed a competitor determined to dictate rather than merely react. That fearless mentality has become one of her defining strengths. Elite competitors immediately recognize it. They understand how dangerous an opponent becomes when fear disappears. Technique can be studied. Fitness can be improved. Experience accumulates naturally over time. But genuine competitive courage cannot easily be taught. Either an athlete embraces pressure or becomes overwhelmed by it. Again and again, Alex Eala has demonstrated an extraordinary willingness to confront the biggest moments without shrinking beneath their weight. Perhaps that explains why respected figures throughout tennis continue speaking about her with growing admiration. Markine did not describe temporary momentum. He highlighted qualities capable of sustaining success over many seasons. Professionalism, discipline, character. Those characteristics often remain invisible to casual observers, yet they frequently determine which talented athletes eventually become household names. Every champion carries a story hidden beneath the trophies. Countless mornings begin before sunrise. Endless repetitions continue long after spectators have gone home. Victories celebrated around the world are usually built upon years of invisible persistence. Alex Eala understands that reality. Every improvement has demanded another sacrifice. Every opportunity has required another level of commitment. That commitment has gradually reshaped her game into something increasingly complete. Her baseline exchanges display greater patience. Her decision-making under pressure appears calmer. Her movement allows her to transform defense into attack with remarkable speed. Perhaps most importantly, her confidence continues expanding without drifting toward complacency. That delicate balance separates lasting excellence from short-lived success. Confidence empowers. Complacency destroys. The greatest competitors constantly convince themselves that improvement remains possible regardless of previous accomplishments. Everything surrounding Alex Eala suggests she embraces that philosophy. The excitement surrounding her future extends well beyond individual tournaments. Young players across the Philippines have already begun viewing her as proof that international success is attainable. Children who once believed professional tennis belonged only to distant countries now watch someone carrying familiar dreams onto the world's biggest courts. That inspiration cannot be measured through rankings alone. It changes sporting culture. Every Pac Junior Academy, every family choosing tennis for the first time, every child practicing serves beneath the afternoon sun while imagining championship courts somewhere far beyond the horizon becomes part of an expanding legacy. That is how sporting revolutions quietly begin. Not through speeches, not through slogans, through one athlete proving that impossible barriers were never truly impossible. Mark Eala appears to recognize that broader significance. His perspective extends beyond individual matches because he understands how transformative a genuine star can become for an entire sport. Professional tennis thrives when new personalities emerge. Fresh rivalries captivate audiences. Unexpected champions challenge established hierarchies. Alex Eala possesses many ingredients capable of contributing to that exciting future. Her story feels authentic. Her determination feels genuine. Her ambition never appears manufactured. Fans naturally connect with competitors whose journeys reflect perseverance rather than privilege. They celebrate athletes who earn every opportunity through relentless effort. That emotional connection continues growing with every tournament. Each victory strengthens belief. Each setback reveals resilience. Each comeback reinforces character. Those experiences gradually create something every champion requires: identity. The tennis world increasingly understands exactly who Alex Eala is becoming. She is no longer viewed simply as a promising prospect. She is evolving into a legitimate threat capable of challenging respected names on any given day. Opponents now prepare differently. Coaches study her patterns more carefully. Analysts devote greater attention to her tactical development. Respect changes everything. Once competitors begin expecting difficult battles, psychological advantages begin shifting before the opening serve has even been struck. That transformation often marks one of the most significant milestones in an emerging career. Mark Eala's update reflected that growing respect. His words carried the unmistakable impression that Alex Eala's progress has captured the attention of influential decision-makers throughout professional tennis. Such recognition opens important doors. Tournament opportunities expand. Commercial interest increases. Media attention intensifies. Every accomplishment creates momentum extending far beyond the scoreboard. With greater visibility also comes greater responsibility. Every interview becomes meaningful. Every public appearance shapes perception. Every performance influences countless aspiring athletes watching from home. Alex Eala has handled those responsibilities with impressive maturity. She consistently redirects praise toward hard work. She acknowledges those who supported her journey. She remains focused upon improvement instead of distractions. That humility resonates powerfully inside a sporting environment, often dominated by enormous expectations. People admire excellence. They remember authenticity. Together, those qualities create lasting popularity. Perhaps that combination explains why enthusiasm surrounding Alex Eala continues spreading far beyond traditional tennis audiences. She represents hope. She represents possibility. She represents the thrilling uncertainty that keeps sport endlessly captivating. Because every generation searches for the next remarkable story. Every era longs for fresh heroes capable of inspiring millions. Perhaps the greatest revelation within Mark Eala's latest comments was not simply confidence in Alex Eala's ability. It was the unmistakable suggestion that the journey has only just begun. The victories celebrated today may eventually become remembered merely as the opening chapters. The biggest tournaments still await. The grandest stages still call. The most unforgettable moments may still be waiting somewhere just beyond the next serve, the next match, the next extraordinary opportunity that could forever change the history of tennis. The deeper the tennis world looks at Alex Eala's remarkable ascent, the more difficult it becomes to dismiss her achievements as fortunate timing or temporary momentum. Every major breakthrough in the history of the sport has eventually reached a moment when skepticism surrendered to undeniable evidence. That moment often arrives quietly, hidden beneath a series of disciplined performances that gradually reshape the expectations of everyone watching. Alex Eala appears to be approaching exactly that moment. The conversation surrounding her career no longer revolves around potential alone. Instead, attention has shifted toward possibility becoming reality. That distinction matters enormously. Potential is a promise. Reality is earned. Every tournament demands another examination of character, another opportunity to demonstrate that previous success was not an exception, but the beginning of something much greater. The pressure accompanying such expectations would overwhelm many competitors. Every opponent enters the court determined to halt the rising sensation before another unforgettable headline is written. Every match becomes a test not only of physical endurance, but of emotional resilience. There are no easy victories once the tennis world begins expecting greatness. The target grows larger, the scrutiny becomes sharper. Every decision receives microscopic attention. Yet Alex Eala continues carrying herself with remarkable composure. That quiet confidence has become one of her greatest strengths. She understands that excitement surrounding her future cannot substitute for disciplined preparation. Every celebrated victory still requires another practice session. Every encouraging headline disappears the moment the next opponent steps across the net. Champions survive because they embrace that unforgiving reality. They refuse to become prisoners of yesterday's success. Instead, they wake each morning convinced there remains another level waiting to be discovered. That relentless pursuit of improvement is precisely what continues impressing respected observers throughout professional tennis. Mark Ein's remarks reflected admiration for more than athletic talent. They reflected appreciation for the complete professional emerging before the eyes of the sporting world. A competitor who understands responsibility. A young athlete capable of inspiring future generations. A determined individual prepared to embrace both opportunity and expectation with equal determination. Those qualities cannot be manufactured through publicity campaigns. They reveal themselves over time through consistent actions. Every respectful interview, every gracious response after victory, every dignified reaction following disappointment. Those moments gradually shape public trust. Fans begin believing not only in an athlete's ability but also in the person standing behind the achievements. That emotional investment becomes incredibly powerful. People stop watching merely for results. They begin following a journey. They celebrate every breakthrough because they feel personally connected to the dream unfolding before them. Across the Philippines, countless supporters have experienced exactly that connection. Every tournament featuring Alex Eala attracts growing anticipation. Families gather before television screens. Young players pause their own training sessions to watch. Communities celebrate each hard-earned victory with genuine pride because they recognize something larger unfolding before them. One athlete has become a symbol of possibility. One determined competitor has reminded an entire nation that persistence can challenge even the most established traditions within international sport. That influence stretches far beyond championship trophies. It reshapes ambition. Children who once imagined impossible distances separating themselves from professional tennis now possess living proof that dedication can narrow those distances. Every inspired youngster represents another victory, impossible to record within official statistics. Those invisible triumphs often become the most enduring legacy any athlete can leave behind. Mark Ein undoubtedly understands that broader picture. His experience inside professional sports extends beyond business decisions. He recognizes transformational stories when they begin taking shape. History repeatedly demonstrates that remarkable athletes elevate entire competitions. New audiences discover the sport. International interest expands. Fresh rivalries create unforgettable drama. The future suddenly feels filled with limitless possibilities. Alex Eala carries the potential to contribute significantly to that exciting evolution. Of course, no remarkable journey travels without obstacles. Professional tennis remains one of the most demanding environments in all of sport. Physical exhaustion constantly competes with mental fatigue. Long travel schedules challenge even the strongest personalities. Injuries can interrupt momentum without warning. Confidence must be rebuilt repeatedly after heartbreaking defeats. Every champion has confronted those realities. The difference lies in their response. Great competitors refuse to interpret setbacks as endings. Instead, they transform disappointment into determination. Every difficult experience becomes another lesson, strengthening future performances. Alex Eala has already demonstrated that ability. Moments of adversity have never defined her career. They have refined it. Each challenge has sharpened her perspective. Each disappointment has reinforced her commitment. That resilience continues, convincing experienced observers that her greatest accomplishments remain ahead rather than behind. As excitement surrounding her future continues expanding, another fascinating possibility emerges. Future rivalries. Every memorable era in tennis has been shaped by extraordinary competitors pushing one another toward greater heights. The legends never stood alone. Their greatest achievements often emerged because another fearless opponent forced them beyond perceived limits. Alex Eala appears increasingly capable of participating in those unforgettable battles. Matches decided by courage. Championships determined through relentless endurance. Crowds rising to their feet as impossible rallies stretch longer and longer until one extraordinary shot finally changes everything. Those are the moments every athlete dreams about. Those are the moments every supporter remembers forever. Perhaps Markine's update resonated so powerfully because it quietly acknowledged that such moments no longer feel distant fantasies. They feel attainable. The foundation has been established. The work continues. The belief grows stronger with every passing tournament. No responsible voice can predict exactly how many titles await. No honest observer can promise future rankings or championship celebrations. Sport has always resisted certainty. That unpredictability is precisely what makes every breakthrough so captivating. But belief has unmistakably shifted. Influential figures throughout tennis increasingly recognize Alex Eala as far more than another promising young player. They see resilience. They see discipline. They see ambition matched by relentless preparation. Most importantly, they see someone unwilling to place limits upon her own future. And perhaps that is the most significant message hidden within Markine's comments. The story everyone has been celebrating may still be only the beginning. The applause echoing today may sound small compared with the roar awaiting tomorrow. The milestones already achieved may eventually become remembered as the first courageous steps toward an even greater legacy. Some careers announce themselves with a single unforgettable victory. Others build steadily until one extraordinary season changes everything forever. Whether that defining chapter arrives sooner or later, the growing belief surrounding Alex Eala has become impossible to ignore. The tennis world is watching more closely than ever before. The expectations continue rising, the opportunities continue expanding, and somewhere beyond the next challenge, beyond the next courageous performance, beyond the next test of heart and determination, another historic moment may already be waiting to remind the world that extraordinary dreams belong to those brave enough to keep chasing them until they finally become reality.